looking at?
Each other, occasionally look over at the camera.
Good evening. Welcome to the first ever Tuscarawas County Anti-Drug Coalition virtual fair.
Hi, guys.
With me tonight, I got Jodi Salvo and Kerry Metzger from the Tuscarawas County Anti-Drug Coalition. And this is my favorite time of the year. Kind of bummed out a little bit that we're not at the fairgrounds. So the Anti-Drug Coalition decided to bring the fair virtual to you right in your front room. Let me go over a little bit of what to expect from us. Every night this week, we will be on air from 6 to 6:30. We're going to have a different subject that we talk about every night. It will be what our committees are through the Tuscarawas County ADC. And we will be showing you what we do, discussing what we do. We will be having giveaways and all kinds of fun stuff. So I encourage everyone to click back every night and join us at 6 o'clock for our virtual fair. But tonight we're going to open up by explaining what the Tuscarawas County Anti-Drug Coalition actually is. Kerry, do you want to start? Kerry
Sure,
Metzger
sure.
is actually our chairperson.
Yep. I follow your directions. Um, the Anti-Drug Coalition is a set of volunteers, organizations, and the like, and we try to fulfill we have a vision, and the vision is to empower youth to have healthy and drug-free lives. That's our vision. What we are attempting. As I guess you can say, that's kind of the pie in the sky. That's what we want to eventually end up with. But we also then have a mission, and the mission is how we get to that vision. And the mission is to identify and to implement effective prevention strategies for our youth, so they don't use or misuse drugs.
Yep. Very good.
Do we have any questions for Kerry?
Yeah.
You two could ask me a question. That's fine.
So why'd you get involved, Kerry?
Oh, I got involved probably back in 12 or 13. I think the coalition started somewhere around 2011, 2012.
Yep.
I was there for a couple years because my background is I was a county commissioner at the time. And so I just had an interest in looking out for youth and children with trying to help them parlay through the winding road of drugs and misusing the drugs and using them. And so that's where my interest came from. I mean, I was in the Ohio House for 8 years. And with that, I did a lot of legislation that dealt with trying to improve the lives of children. One of them was I started to rewrite the foster care laws in the state of Ohio, and that was back in 2000 or so. I think they've since been revised again, but I've always had that interest with kids. Yeah. And so, like I say, as commissioner, I saw this organization. I thought, well, I'm going to look into it some as the commissioner. And then, of course, I retired 2 years ago, and
been busy ever since.
I don't know if I'm any less busy than what I used to be. I mean, this is retirement, you know.
Yeah.
So anyhow, I really upped my volunteerism.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, with the Anti-Drug Coalition as the president of the board.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll just interject. I'm Jodi Salvo, and I coordinate the Anti-Drug Coalition. So I'm going to say two things. First, Kerry's amazing. He's just really had the ability to help us structure well, so we really can be an organization that's effective, that does good work, and that really is helping young people make healthy, drug-free lifestyle choices. And I'm also going to shout out to Diana Smith. She makes everything happen at the coalition. So you might see my face all around town. We all know Kerry, but Diane makes sure that everything's happening, that we're ordering things, that emails get out, the information happens. So, and she does have a passion for the fair. She works on it for months, making sure that when we're in a place that meets the needs where Tuscarawas County residents hang out, that we have a visible presence, that we're able to talk to grandparents and parents and young people, just to provide education, to create awareness, so we all can live healthier, right?
Yep. So, besides the fair, do you want to explain some of the things that we do outside in the community that people might not understand that we actually are there, that we can go out and we can do things? What's some of the stuff that we do?
Cool. I'll just throw out a couple, and I think we probably could go on all day because we are a busy organization. So we work on a whole bunch of substances, and they're all substances that young people initiate. So a lot of times people hear anti-drug and they'll think meth, they'll think cocaine, they'll think harder drugs, heroin. But we focus on alcohol, tobacco, prescription drugs, vaping, marijuana, because those are the substances our young people start at. And we know that because our organization really is committed to looking at data. But like on alcohol, we'll host alcohol campaigns. We do one that's called Parents Who Host Lose the Most, and it educates and creates awareness to adults, like, don't give alcohol to people under the age of 21. It's illegal, but there's also other implications and consequences other than drinking and driving. When the whole vaping thing was happening, Diane, how many presentations did you give?
Oh, wow. I know we gave presentations in every school in Tuscarawas County. We gave presentations at the middle school. We gave some at the high school. So we gave a lot.
Yeah,
A
just
lot.
what do you need to know about it, and how do you talk to your kid about it, and how do you identify? What do you do if your kid is caught taking risky,
Yep. Chances.
yeah, there you go.
Chances. Kerry,
Yes, ma'am.
besides running the Anti-Drug Coalition, do you go to any trainings? Is there trainings offered by the coalition?
Oh, good
Oh,
heavens,
my.
yes. Yeah. You name it, you can go to a training. Of course, nowadays with the COVID-19, most of the training is now done by virtual,
Yeah.
through a Zoom meeting or something like that. But you still get good information out of it. I mean, there's two major ones that we go to, and that's the national, it's called National
CADCA, Community
National-
Anti-Drug Coalitions of
National
America.
Academy or something.
Yep.
Right? And that's usually in February. Of course, when you travel to Washington, D.C. in February, you can just imagine the stories we have about coming back through storms and the like to get home.
We only had one car accident, though.
Yeah,
A lot of
we coulda
focus,
died.
Jodi, focus.
Yeah.
A lot of focus.
But those trainings are great because what happens is we bring back best practices. When we go to DC, we go to Capitol Hill, we talk to our senators, our congressmen. We do that here in Ohio. We weigh in on legislations, policies that are occurring, really to create a healthier community. And Kerry brings just a wealth of information on how do we do that.
well, I
And
understand the process
Yep.
of advocacy as far as the legislation and that. Spent many years
Yeah.
on the other side of the chair.
So, how does the coalition function?
How
What
does-
what runs the coalition? Do you get grants? Do you
No,
get
it's
in-
Jodi. Jodi runs the coalition.
You know,
Yeah.
our funding comes from, we have one large federal grant that we receive, and it's a 5-year grant, so that is where most of our funding comes from. But we also are always pursuing grants, whether the local, federal, grants, foundations, for different projects. So if we have an effort that we see, here's a need in our community, if we find a funding source, we will absolutely, like we have one right now. We've had a ton of overdose deaths here in Tuscarawas County. We're up 283% overdose deaths in the first 6 months. So we just received a grant that we pursued through the governor's faith-based and community initiatives committee, department, whatever. And we're working on educating, showing people where resources are, decreasing stigma around drug addiction and mental health. So
And that campaign isn't just the Tuscarawas County Anti-Drug Coalition, correct? we are partnering with the Addiction Task Force, which formerly used to be the Opiate Task Force. The name is changing to Addiction Task Force. But that's just something that the coalition has. We have that partnership with other agencies in Tuscarawas County, and everybody works together.
Yeah, we have
Correct.
Community Mental Health, Ohio Guidestone, Tuscarawas County Health Department, Job and Family Services. We have Commissioner Landis. I mean, we have a lot of people at the table.
Right.
Cleveland Clinic, law enforcement.
So besides trainings, and you've mentioned that we have went out and we've done vaping presentations, what's some of the other events that someone could call in and ask us about? Do you want to give an example of our Hidden in Plain Sight?
Yeah. Hidden in Plain Sight's a fun one. If we have adults out there that want to learn more about what are areas where kids are initiating, taking risky behaviors with substances, even self-harm issues, suicide attempts, cutting, stuff like that. We have a program that we offer that we'll do anywhere, civic organizations, workplaces, community events, schools, school-end services, where we have a mock bedroom that we set up. And inside it is just stuffed with risky
I
items.
think we have over 80 risky items in our little bedroom
So
set.
tell them what you do with that one, if a parent would see this.
Okay, this is the first prize giveaway.
Okay.
So, like I mentioned, we're going to give away prizes throughout the week. So, anyone that's on there listening, I have a question for you. With our Hidden in Plain Sight, the one thing that we go over is we talk about red flags and yellow flags. If you walked into your kid's bedroom and you seen an empty toilet paper roll and a dryer sheet, would you think anything about it? The first person that comments and answers, we will spin the wheel, and we will give you a chance for a prize.
So we have T-shirts, we have gift cards, we have
Frisbees,
all kinds of fun
Frisbees.
stuff.
magic markers, sunglasses.
Kind of stuff you get at the fair.
All fair stuff. I don't see anybody yet, but
So Hidden Play Site, that's kind of fun. So people come in and they get to look around. They get to see how many items they'll find. You know, like we said, there's probably over 60 stuff in there. A little competition. And then we have a presentation. What are our kids using here in Tuscarawas County? How do we have conversation around it? If you find that your kid has experimented, what do you do? You know, we let them know how do you get an assessment, where our treatment agencies are. So it's really a great presentation, and it's very hands-on. It's kind of entertaining as well. Get to see all kinds of paraphernalia.
okay, we have our first person.
Okay, who is it?
Bridget. Bridget Ann says no, she would not think anything of it. And you're correct. It could go both ways, Bridget. If you have, as Jodi says, a hamster, this might be something that you let your hamster run around in. But it could also be a flag that your child is either smoking cigarettes, they're smoking marijuana, they're vaping. What they do with the empty toilet paper roll and the dryer sheet is they put the dryer sheet inside of the toilet paper roll and they use it as a filter. They go to their bedroom window, a lot of kids do, and when they exhale, they breathe through the end of the toilet paper roll and it filters through the dryer sheet. So it kind of masks the smell of your cigarettes, your vaping. So one aspect, it might not be nothing. It could just be that your child had the toilet paper in the room.
They ran out of
first-
Kleenex,
yeah.
they used toilet paper.
But if you see the toilet paper roll with the dryer sheet, it would be a good talking point to go to your kids and talk to your kids. So what we're going to do is I'm going to spin my nice little wheel behind here and see what you won.
Okay. Okay.
Even has sound effects.
It does, yeah. What'd you get?
What a hand fan. So, and this is what you would see at the fair. When we have our fair, we have 2 booths, and we have a game at one booth. We might have the spinning wheel at the other, but this is just some of the fun stuff that we do have. So, Bridget, if you want to get a hold of us, we can tell you where you can pick up your hand fan
Why don't you
anytime this week.
why don't you show her an example of what she's going to get?
Now, unfortunately, normally it's hot at the fair, and we need these, but it's kind of chilly out right now. So, here's your hand fan. You were asking about other things the coalition does. You know, I'm going to say the prescription drug efforts here in the county. When you hear about drug take back days, when you hear about those drug deactivation bags, if you're not familiar with them, we'll talk about them later in this week. Drop off boxes at the law enforcement office. Um, that's a big project
Big.
for the coalition. You know, helping people understand why do we properly dispose of unwanted, unused medications.
Yeah, it's getting the pills
Yeah.
out of your house and off the street.
A good
and to
example of
dispose
that
of 'em.
was we just had two drug take back events
Yeah.
that we partnered with Tuscarawas County Sheriff's Office, and we did one in Newcomerstown and Bolivar,
Yep.
Giant Eagle. So that was besides our annual drug take back day.
Yeah.
And we will get more into the drug take back days and what we offer later on this week when we do our prescription drug committee.
Cool.
So, Jodi, I gotta ask, I see a can of whipped cream. What is the whipped cream for?
These are whippets. So if for a parent, if you see aerosol cans of any kind in your kid's room, that's an opportunity for a conversation. So the aerosol on here gives the kids kind of a head rush, a little buzz to the head. But if you see paint cans, aerosol paste cans, any kind of computer dusting cleaner, anything that has an aerosol in it can be abused by young people. So it would be something, if you see an aerosol can, you need to start asking questions, because aerosols, when you breathe stuff in, really they can be addictive, but they can also be deadly as well. So again, it's a good conversation. It also helps you when you go to the presentation, the Hidden Plain Sight, to think about what you need to be talking to your kids about. You know, saying, look, if you go to a friend's house and someone dares you to breathe in an aerosol can, you need to say no. You need to say no. Why? Because it could potentially be very harmful for you. So those are the kind of things you would learn at the Hidden Plain Sight presentation.
And
But also, you bring up the fact that, it's important for the parent to talk to the kids about
It is. Why?
drug use and misuse, because there's been studies that have proven that if a parent sits down and routinely talks with their child, there's a 50% less chance that they're going to use or misuse drugs. That's 50%. That's pretty
Yeah.
good. But the parent has to be open and honest, and have a continual dialogue with their child.
And Kerry, I like when we talk about this, the key too is that it's an effective conversation. It's not just don't do drugs, don't drink alcohol, because our young people, honestly, that's not going to work. They don't want people to just say no. But our young people are really open to having the reason why. Don't use because. You know, our kids have learned about addiction. They've learned about addictive substances. So they just need that parent voice to weigh in and say, hey, look, I care about you, and this can really mess you up, whether it's just playing on a sports team or your future, huh?
Right. And the important thing is, as far as the coalition goes, we're kind of tied in with the youth-to-youth programs that are in the schools.
Yep.
And, those kids are great. They're the best way to have a conversation with kids that are using drugs is have a peer of their own to talk to them about that. And that's what the youth-to-youth does. And then they have a youth advisory board. So, we always are looking for youth to participate in the youth-to-youth program.
Yep.
I'm glad you brought that up, Kerry, because what if someone wants to join the Anti-Drug Coalition? Is there a process they have to go through to join? When's the meetings? Where do you meet at?
Well,
We meet over the computer screen right now,
Yeah.
Diane.
we meet virtually, and we're meeting at the Adams Board office, the facility there. But when COVID-19 hit, that stopped any face-to-face meetings, and still
Yeah.
not having any face-to-face meetings. So I'm not sure how long that's going to continue, that we're going to doing Zoom meetings. But all you need to do is contact Jodi, contact Diane at the office, and tell them you're interested in attending a meeting to
Yep.
see what it's all about. Our meetings, our general meetings are normally at 10 o'clock. They run till 10 to 11:30, and it's usually on a Friday.
First Friday
First
of the
Friday
month.
of the month, right? And then we have most of the work is not necessarily done at that regular meeting. That's kind of this is what we're doing, this is what we've
Kinda
done, this is
reporting
where
out.
we need kind of help. But the actual work of the coalition is done through, as we talked about earlier, the committees, the alcohol, the tobacco, the marijuana, prescription drugs. That's where most of the work is done, and that's the way we originally had it set up. That's why we are now, kind of inundated with projects
We're
that we want
busy.
to do. And the thing is, it's important that we continue to get new people involved with that, because the only thing that would hold the coalition back with doing a lot of great projects and programs is the volunteers. We just need
We
more
have
people
room
in
for a
that.
lot of volunteers. We are at every parade, we're at community events, fairs, we host Hope Sunday. I mean, there's a lot to do for whatever your interest level is.
Right, and then if you're interested, if you come to a meeting and you're interested, you'll be given a form. It's a membership form, and it puts on there all the different committees, whether or not you want to do committees involved in a certain committee that you have an interest in. It's also, we're looking just for volunteers for parades and to man booths.
Yep.
So, that's important. We need good volunteers that are willing to give a little time back to
Yep.
the community. And so it doesn't mean you have to sign up for any committee at all. By signing the membership form, it gives you voting privileges within the Anti-Drug Coalition.
Yep.
Whenever we have things come up, we just had the bylaws revised, and that was a vote of the regular committee, or, the main meeting. So, we can always use help.
I
If
think you need to give away some more prizes.
I think so. If you want to become a member, you can always call 330-440-7320. That is the prevention office number. And we can explain to you more on when the meetings are. Like Jodi said, our meetings are the first Friday of every month. They do run until 11:30, and Kerry's very good at making sure that they're done by 11:30.
Yeah, I get anxious if we're getting close to 11:30. Hour and a half is plenty.
And we
time.
have fun. Well, we really do. It's not all cut and dry. Everyone's family. Do you
Mhm.
agree?
Oh, I agree, yeah.
Yep.
Everybody,
We enjoy what we do, and I do have more giveaways because I anticipated on being at the fair, so I got to order.
She likes to buy things.
So, the next person that comments or asks a question on our Facebook feed, we will spin the wheel again for another prize. And every time that you join us, please let us know you're joining us, because at the end of the week, all the prizes that I have laid out on the table, you will get one of everything in a grand prize, and that will be drawn on Saturday. So every time you ask a question, every time you join us, as long as I can tell that you are joining, I will put your name in a basket for the grand prize at the end of the week.
We have some good gift certificates for some local restaurants here, right?
Yes, we have a Starbucks gift certificate and a Texas Roadhouse gift certificate. And that's also on the spinning wheel. So that will be in our grand prize basket. So someone comment, let us know that you're here, ask us any questions. Kerry loves answering questions, so just ask away to Kerry.
So while we're waiting for some questions, I'll just throw out some other things that we're doing. Like, we have Hope Sunday coming up this Sunday. I don't know if you're all familiar with that, but that's a big event that the coalition does where we have a video that we provide to churches. I think we have about over 100 churches that are receiving a video for this Sunday. They'll be playing those in their churches. They'll have bulletins that'll say prayer request on addiction and mental health problem issues that we're having in the community. It'll showcase what are our community resources, but it's an opportunity to reach a lot of people on one day, to better understand addiction and mental health issues, and how can we be part of the solution. So one, if you have someone that's struggling in your home, how do you get the help? But also another is for if you're a community member and maybe you're not real versed in how do you deal with addiction or understand it or problems with mental health issues, you can learn more about it, and it will also help you say, okay, and now this is what you can do. This is how you reach out to other people. So it's a neat opportunity. And Diane provided the Hope Sunday flyer for this week. So we'll have a video on our Facebook page on Sunday afternoon. That will be shown with all the churches.
It'll be on our Facebook page, and it will also be on our web page. And if you want to contact us at our web page, it's
adctusk.org. And that's another way you can say you want to get involved, right?
Yes.
But that's also with the website. It also provides a lot of information about anything you want to talk about as far as the different
The committees.
the initiation drugs and the committees.
You know what else
How
we
they
do,
do.
the coalition? I'm looking at Josh All right now, who's providing this. We do podcasts, the coalition every week with Get Level, how do I say, Podcast Network. I always mess that up. But that is a really neat thing. Every Monday, actually Sunday night, you can kind of see the podcast that's featured. It's released on Monday morning. But it is always about a topic that's happening in Tuscarawas County. And you know what? We're the Anti-Drug Coalition, so you might think it would always be about substances, but it's not. We know that the healthier our community is, the healthier we all are going to be. So we talk about all kinds of things that happen here in the community. Basically, what are the protective factors? What are the assets? What's going on? What are the organizations doing in the county? And it's an opportunity to learn more about what's happening in Tuscarawas County, and a lot of great things happen here. So that's a fun one.
And another thing that just dawned onto me, besides the Anti-Drug Coalition, we have 2 break-offs, as you want to call it, of the coalition.
Yeah.
One is in Newcomerstown, and it's called Newcomerstown Can. And the other one is in the Yerkesville-Denison area, and that's called the 922 Initiative. So them are meetings that happen outside of the coalition, but the coalition still basically supports
Yeah.
it. The 922 Initiative one is one that I do spearhead. It's one that's just starting up. If you want to get involved, please get a hold of me. I can tell you when our meetings will be. And that it focuses basically on the 922 area. It's something that the overdose rates have really increased, and basically we call it a hot spot, and we want to bring the resources there as much as possible. Same with Newcomerstown.
Yep.
The Newcomerstown Can is a great
Yeah, the Newcomerstown
community.
community leaders get together on a monthly basis. Now, they're not also meeting during the pandemic, but again, okay, this is what's going on in our community. How do we become part of the solution? And it's a great group of people that get stuff done. So, you know, they'll take information, pamphlets, campaign, and they run with it down there.
So we have a lot of fun. We encourage, we're coming up on our 6:30 hour. I didn't get any more hits, so no more prizes. But I do encourage everyone
Does that mean we get to go to Texas Roadhouse?
We'll take
I
Kerry.
wouldn't do that. I'm just kidding.
We'll take Kerry out to buys. We are coming up on the 6:30 hour. I encourage you, get the word out. All week we will be here from 6 to 6:30. We'll be discussing different things. Tomorrow night we're actually going to touch on the marijuana issue that we have going on. We're going to give prizes away. We're going to discuss what the ADC does with the marijuana committee.
Yeah.
And anything else?
No, just if you're interested in joining the coalition, just give us a contact,
There you go.
either through the phone number or
Website.
through the website.
What's
Yep.
the phone number, Kerry?
I don't remember.
The phone number again is 330-440-7320, and the website is adctusk.org. And I want to give a huge thank you to Josh for helping us put this together, because I could have never done it.
Nope. Great job. And good luck to all the kids that are down at the fair right now. And
Jodi and I will be there tomorrow at lunchtime to get
we
our
need
pork
our pork.
sandwich.
Yeah, we do. I think about that all year long.
No, well,
I know, not tomorrow,
not
but
tomorrow, but
Oh,
a couple days
Wednesday.
this week. Yep, we'll
Yeah.
be down there. So good luck, you guys.
Thank you.
thanks.